What's going on, everybody? UCF Jaguar coming at you with another shitty, basic YouTube intro. So smash that like button. But in all seriousness, news dropped today. A little earlier than what was to be expected, but it did drop that Nick Foles is going to be the starter for the Jaguars in our I believe it's 11, week 10 or 11 matchup against the Colts that we have coming up. And I mean, it was pretty, everyone kind of knew what was going to go on here. Now, I was under the way I was going into it was, okay, let me watch a Texans game to see what we need to do at the quarterback position. I really thought that if Gardner Minshew came out there and played a good game, that, we'd be out there sitting at the, in the 60, the wild card spot. We'd be 2-1 in the division. And I thought, going into the Colts game, it would just be too much to break up the chemistry and, try to insert a new starter over there. Now in a whole entire different situation, man. The Jaguars are now 4-5. We are in a position where we honestly need to go at least 6-1 through the rest of the stretch if we want any shot at the playoffs. I mean, 7-0 would be ideal, obviously, but I mean, you can't go any worse than 6-1 throughout the next stretch to get into the playoffs because, at this point, I think that the division race is long gone. I think if we want any shot at the playoffs, it has to be the wild card spot. And, I think that Nick Foles deserves a start for a few reasons. First of all, I mean, he had a pretty good mini camp, pretty good training camp and stuff like that. And, he hasn't truly got his shot yet. Gardner Minshew got his shot. And, Gardner Minshew did an admirable job for us. I mean, 4-4 he did for us as a 6th-round rookie. No one expected that out of him. And, we've got a really good quarterback, I really think, on our hands. But, it's at this point in the season where Nick Foles is at his best point in the season. If you look at the way he finished the 2017 and 2018 seasons, he elevated the Eagles. In 2017, he helped the Eagles go on and win the Super Bowl. Obviously, we all know the story about that. And in 2018, when Carson Wentz got hurt, Nick Foles went in there and uplifted the team, and he led them into the playoffs, and he was a tipped ball out of Alshon Jeffrey's hands away from potentially beating who'd they play? It was I forget. I forget who they were playing against. It's kind of driving me nuts. I don't remember. The Rams. I think it was the Rams. But yeah, I mean, he was so close to winning that game. And now, we're in a situation now where I say, look, I really do think Gardner Minshew can be the quarterback of our team, in the future, our franchise quarterback. And I think that, benching him, it isn't detrimental. It's not like people are out here going to, a lot of people are saying, oh, now we're going to mess with his psyche. I think it could be good for him. Now what he gets to do is he gets to observe a true pro on the bench. You know what I'm saying? He gets to see, how Nick Foles handles himself, and whether it be good situations or whether it be after Nick Foles throws an interception, what's he like once he gets to the sidelines? He gets to, Nick Foles has been in his ear every single game. He was at every game right on the sidelines with him, talking with him through things. And now he gets to switch roles and see how Nick Foles handles things. And, really, it could be a win-win for Gardner Minshew, and for the Jaguars in general. Look, if down the stretch, if Nick Foles goes 5-0, then also we're in a really good situation, to potentially make a real playoff push. But guess what? If Nick Foles goes 2-3, 3-2, I really think that it's look, maybe we sit Nick Foles, now if we're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, now it's okay, let's put, Gardner Minshew potentially back in there. And, after he's been right in the bench for a little bit, and then we can see what he becomes after that, now that he's, has some time on the bench, and we can kind of see him make a little bit of a comeback, because I don't think that benching him is detrimental. And, we paid Nick Foles a lot of money. We paid him $86 million, and we paid him that, to be the Nick Foles that we saw in 2017 and 2018. And now, one thing I do want to say is that we saw, I think, 10 plays out of Nick Foles. And the very last play Nick Foles had before getting injured, actually the play that he got injured, he threw a complete rainbow moonshot up to DJ Chark. That throw was a better throw than Gardner Minshew had his whole entire time starting. and that just came with experience and just by having a stronger arm. So, I mean, I am excited to see what Nick Foles has, and, you know, hopefully now we go into the Colts and, you know, no team has any tape of Nick Foles playing on the Jaguars. So, you know, we have the Colts coming up. We have a crucial game against the Titans. Absolutely have to win those. And, I mean, we'll see if we can make any kind of a run with Nick Foles. But, I mean, honestly, this is the decision that I was expecting them to make. And, you know, I'm not off the Gardner Minshew train or anything. And, you know, I heard a couple ridiculous things that say, you know, I heard some Jags fans saying, oh, you know, now that I think Nick Foles would play better after seeing how good Gardner Minshew did. Look, if that's Nick Foles' motivation to play well, then he's not the guy. If his motivation to play his absolute best for the Jaguars is because Gardner Minshew, the backup quarterback, is playing good, then that is some pussy shit, man. You know, that's some pussy shit. And I was also saying, you know, after how horrible the play calling was last game, they were like, oh, I think John DeFilippo and Doug Marrone were trying to make it easy to make Gardner Minshew play bad, to have an easy choice for the starting quarterback. That is another ridiculous statement. If you think the coaching staff was tanking that game, and the important divisional game to move us from, you know, the difference between 5-4 and 4-5 and, you know, 2-1 in the division was was to make the decision easier, then you're lost. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but that's just a, you know, true fact of the situation. But, you know, Nick Foles is going to be starting. It's going to be interesting just to see, you know, what it's like to have Nick Foles as our starting quarterback, because we never really saw him in a preseason. We hardly saw him. You know, he didn't even last the whole entire quarter against the Chiefs. And, you know, I have a lot of Eagles fans on my videos being like, I hope he's as good as Eagles fans say, because Eagles fans are all over my videos being like, I don't know why you're so negative. You know, you have a NFL, you know, you have a Super Bowl MVP on your team. Jags fans are so negative. Look, we're negative because we're just used to just getting bitch slapped by this Jags team. You know, we have any kind of hope that, you know, I mean, the last 10 years has just been rough, and I'm kind of rambling right now. Nick Foles is the starting quarterback of the NFL, or of the Jaguars, against the Indianapolis Colts. We're coming on a bye week, so we'll see what BDN has to offer. Thanks, guys, for watching. Like the video. Go Jags. I'm out.